Jai Hind children, welcome to today's physics class. We are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 13, Sound. The topics we are going to cover in this chapter are what is sound, how sound is produced, and sound produced by different musical instruments. Sound plays a major role in our life. When a lion roars, we hear sound. When we pluck the strings of a musical instrument, we hear sound. Water pouring into a glass produces sound. A bat hitting on a ball and water hitting on the rocks also produces sound. Sound helps us to communicate. Without sound, we cannot communicate or talk to each other. That is one of the very important things. What produces the sound? To answer this question, we need to know what is vibration. The to and fro or back and forth motion of an object is called vibration. If we stretch a rubber band and pluck at the middle, it produces to and fro motion or vibration. When a body produces vibration, it produces sound. Vibration produces sound or sound is produced by a vibrating body. Your voice is different from that of adults. What makes this difference? Some sounds are louder, where some sounds are less louder. Some sounds are pleasant, where some are annoying. What make all these differences? We shall answer all these questions in these sections. The topics we are going to elaborate in this section are vibrating bodies produces sound, medium of propagation of sound, amplitude, frequency and time period of vibration, loudness and pitch, audible and inaudible sounds, noise pollution and measures to control it.
Sound is a form of energy. It travels in the form of waves. There are 4 ways of producing sound. They are beating, rubbing, blowing and plucking. Let us understand how sound is produced by doing the following activities. Hold a plastic scale firmly at the edge of a table as shown here. Strike the loose end with your finger. Does it produce a sound? Yes, it produces a sound. What kind of motion can you observe in the scale? The scale undergoes vibratory motion. Attach one end of a rubber band to a fixed support, like a nail or hook on the wall. Hold the other end with your finger. Stretch the rubber band and pluck at its middle part. Is a sound produced? Yes, a sound is heard. What kind of motion can you observe in the rubber band? The rubber band has a vibratory motion. Strike a tuning fork on a rubber pad and bring it close to your ear. You will hear the sound produced by it. Strike it again on the rubber pad and then touch the surface of water in a beaker with its prongs. The water in the beaker is violently agitated. Can you say the reason? Water is violently agitated because of the vibration of the tuning fork. After doing the above activities, we conclude that the kind of motion that produces sound is a rapid to and fro motion or vibration. Hence, sound is produced by vibrating bodies. The vibrating body can be a stretched skin, stretched strings, or air columns in pipes or your vocal cords.
Sound. We hear different kind of sounds like ringing of alarm clock, sounds from musical instrument, sounds of television, radio and many more. Even we also make sound while speaking. So we can say that sound is a form of energy that produces the sensation of hearing in our ears. Sound plays a very important role in our life, and most important that sound help us to communicate with each other. How is sound produced? Sound is produced by vibrating objects. Anything that vibrate will produce sound. Now let us understand this with the help of many musical instrument examples. So sound produced in musical instrument. First one, guitar. When you pluck the strings, it vibrates and produce sound. But not only the vibration is produced by the strings of the guitar, but also the air inside the guitar vibrates and the sound produced. Similarly, violin, sitar and mandolin are some other example of a string type musical instruments. So these are known as where the strings vibrates and produce sound. Next is tabla. How do you think that sound is produced in this instrument? When you play, you hit this part of it, and this is known as membranes, a thin sheet of skin, that is membrane. When stretched membranes vibrates, it produces sound, and air inside the tabla also produce sound. Similarly, drums and dholaks are some other example of membrane types instrument that produce sound. Flute. In flute, you blow air inside it, and when we blow air, the air columns start vibrate and make sound. So air column type instrument is flute, clarinet, whistle and trumpet. These are some examples of musical instrument that how sound is produced in different musical instrument.
Let us do another activity. Take a metal dish. Pour water in it. Now strike it at its edge with a spoon. What will you hear? Well, a sound. Again, strike the dish and then touch it. You will feel the dish vibrating. Strike the dish again. Now look at the surface of the water. Can you see waves there? Now hold the dish. What change do you observe on the surface of the water? You got it. There are no waves seen on the surface of the water. We see that a vibrating object produces sound. In some cases, the vibrations are easily visible to us. But in most cases, their amplitude is so small that we cannot see them. However, we can feel them.
Take 5 metal glasses and place them on a table. Pour different quantities of water into 5 metal glasses. Now, take a wooden stick and strike the metal glasses gently with a wooden stick. Observe the changes in sound. We have observed that each of the glasses will have a different tone when we strike them with the wooden stick. Here, the glass with the more water, less air gap will have the lowest tone, while the glass with the less water, more air gap will have the greater tone. We learned that the small vibrations are made when we strike the glass. This creates sound waves which travel through the water. So, glasses filled with water up to a different height produces a different sound. based on the amount of air gap present in the glass. Thus, we can conclude that the sounds are produced by the vibrating bodies and by the air passing through orifices of the instruments like musical instruments. Jal Tarang works based on the principle of change in quality of sound. The Jal Tarang, one of the most rarely heard instruments today, is among the oldest instruments in the world. It consists of metal bowls filled with water and stuck by two wooden stakes.
I hope today's topic is clear for you. All the activities given in your textbook are discussed in the videos. Read the textbook. Thank you.